Jacob Parker didn't think of himself as a corporate guy, even if his calendar and wardrobe said otherwise. His life was constant airport to meeting room cycle. He used to believe in the mission: urban design, blending nature and people, sustainable development, all that. But somewhere along the line, it turned into PowerPoints and polite fights over zoning laws. This time, his bosses in America sent him to Kusatsu, a quiet mountain town famous for its hot springs in Japan. The company wanted to scout it for a luxury wellness resort. Jacob's job? Charm the locals, assess the land, and draft a pitch that made traditional look more than enough for their VIP clientele. He wasn't thrilled, but a free trip to the mountains beat another week in a glass office. The ryokan they booked him at was small, charming in that don't ask about the Wi-Fi kind of way. An old man greeted him barefoot at the porch. "Parker-san." "Yeah, Jacob. I'm here for the work thing. The resort plan? We prepared your room. This way." Inside, the air was warm and wooden. Everything smelled like cedar, tatami mats, and hot stone. No reception desk, no lobby music, no buzz of other guests. Just steam of something delicious cooking, trailing from a back hallway. Jacob followed the man to his room, rolling his suitcase over the wood. As they passed a small common area, he slowed down in front of a painting on the wall. A woman in a black kimono, holding a red lantern, standing in the middle of what looked like a foggy Kusatsu street. Who is she? Old guest who didn't check out? The old man didn't laugh. "Akari no Yomi, the lantern bride." "Oh, right. Creepy legends." "She is no legend. She is real. She appears when the fog comes too early, carries her lantern, looking for her husband." "Seriously?" The old man smiled politely, bowed, and slid the door to his room shut. The room was simple, nice and relaxing. But the lack of entertainment soon had Jacob bored. That night, Jacob sat by the window, sipping tea and having steamed buns a kind old woman had made for him while he was half watching steam rise from the stone bathhouse below the balcony. Then he saw it, a red glow moving through the fog, slow, floating. Must be the locals out for a walk. Better head in for the night. The next day, after meeting the clientele and getting ahead on work, Jacob was famished and really looking forward to dining in town. Jacob had a policy about street food abroad. If there's a handwritten menu and one old lady yelling at everyone in the kitchen, it's probably excellent. He ducked into a narrow noodle house near the train tracks. 7 stools, one cranky chef, and steam that slapped him in the face like a welcome. He ordered something with udon and regretted it the second the wasabi hit. Tears leaked down his face as he tried to play it cool. "Too much?" a voice asked, amused. A young woman slid into the stool next to him. She wore a dark green sweater and smelled faintly of sandalwood, and she was beautiful. Jacob kept staring, but suddenly realized what a mess he must have been himself. Just clearing my sinuses, Jacob coughed. She watched him struggle with his chopsticks, then gently reached over. You're holding them like pens. You'll stab the poor noodles. He laughed, embarrassed. Not the best first impression. I've seen worse. Sayuri. I run the incense shop by the temple. Jacob, I'm here for a project. I like Kusatsu. Sayuri smiled. Kusatsu decides if it likes you back. Later that night, Jacob couldn't sleep. Jet-lagged maybe, or that weird painting still in his head. So he decided to take a walk, just like the other locals. He slipped on a hoodie and walked out. Strangely, the streets were empty tonight, as if the town had emptied out. Fog curled between the old stone streets, muting even the sound of his own footsteps. He wandered past a closed sweet shop, then down a narrow path that led to an old temple. Lanterns flickered weakly on poles. At the edge of the spring, something moved. A woman, black kimono, red lantern, glowing like a coal in the mist. Jacob froze. His breath caught. Every logical part of his brain tried to explain it. Hiking costume, local performance, drunk cosplayer. Then, a loud caw shattered the silence. A white crow flew down the street from the woods, right at him, as if it had seen a demon. The woman paused, then vanished, just gone. Jacob stood there stunned, heart hammering. The crow perched on the spot where she'd stood, then flew back off into the woods. Okay, I'll stick to Grandma's tea before bed instead of walks. He turned and walked quickly back to the inn. He didn't look behind him again. The next day, Jacob was relieved that the project he had come for was going very positively, and perhaps soon he would strike a deal. Quite happy that evening, he decided to drop by the noodle shop, grab some noodles, and maybe this time take a peek into Sayuri's incense shop too. Jacob showed up at Sayuri's incense shop, pretending he was just wandering by, which was a lie. He had Googled the address over breakfast, and it was on the back of his mind since he first saw her. The place was tucked between a tea house and a temple gate. Sayuri was behind the counter, arranging tiny ceramic burners. She looked up and smiled like she expected him. I don't usually get repeat customers this fast. I'm a fast learner, and I figured I owe you a less embarrassing chopstick performance. You're planning to light incense with them this time? They talked about the town, the quiet, the way Kusatsu clung to its old ways. It doesn't want to be a resort. It wants to heal people, not entertain them. I'm not here to ruin anything. Just find a balance, tradition and modern comfort. Sayuri nodded, but didn't say more. In his mind, Jacob really wanted to ask her to dinner, but something held him back, and her smile, warm as it was, said, "Not yet." Back at the lodge, Jacob lay awake again. This time, not jet lag. Something else now. He wondered what he saw that night. He didn't believe in superstition. No ghosts, no spook, no legend. But then, what he saw must have an explanation, and what did he have to fear? So he went out again. The fog was thicker, the air colder. At the springs, the red glow flickered again. There she was, same black kimono, same lantern. This time, it was Sayuri's face. Sayuri's voice. Sayuri? It was you all along? Jacob, come closer. His feet moved before his brain agreed. Her smile was soft, familiar. He stopped a distance from her. Sayuri, what are you doing here at this time? Just then, something snapped behind him. A bark, fierce, fast. Another white crow shot past him like a bullet, almost attacking him. What the hell? The woman's face shifted, distorted, as she looked up at Jacob. Sayuri. She was old. Much old. Jacob stumbled back, heart pounding. Till he didn't have a choice but to run back. He looked at the spot where the woman had stood. Gone. Jacob woke up, drenched in sweat, the thin ryokan blanket clinging to his skin like a second layer of fire. His head hammered, and nausea twisted his stomach. The room spun slowly around him. He tried to sit up, but collapsed back onto the futon. It was a dream. The next day, Jacob was in bed with a high fever. He cancelled all his appointments and tried to rest, but he was troubled with dreams again and again. He was submerged in water, thick, sulfurous, burning. Cold hands gripping his ankles, pulling him deeper into the spring's dark belly. Panic surged, but his limbs felt heavy, useless. Then, through the haze, the woman appeared. Draped in black, her face pale and shimmering in lantern light, she wept. "Wait for me." Jacob jerked awake, gasping. The room was silent, except for the slow drip of rain outside. He knew the fever was more than just illness. Something in Kusatsu was not right. When Jacob woke the next afternoon, he got a sniff of a familiar smell. Sayuri was there, sitting quietly beside him, her eyes dark with concern, Are you really here? Or am I dreaming again? You're burning up. You shouldn't wander the town alone, especially at night. He tried to laugh, but it came out weak. It was fear talking. I thought I saw you. It was a strange old woman, black kimono with a lantern. The look on Sayuri's face changed. There's something you need to understand about the spirit you keep seeing. Spirit? Sayuri, not you too. This isn't a laughing matter, Jacob. The woman you keep seeing is a Yuri, a ghost, the Lantern Bride. She drowned herself here centuries ago, waiting for her husband who never came back from war. Yes, I've heard the folk tale, but it's more than that. She preys on loneliness, especially on outsiders, men in particular who wander about not knowing where they are and what might be in front of them. She takes the face of someone they want to see, someone they trust. Be careful. Don't fall into her trap. Sayuri bid Jacob farewell that afternoon. But Jacob couldn't stop thinking about what she said. Later, when he was feeling a little better, even though it was raining, he walked out that evening on the way to her shop. Sayuri was lighting a small incense stick when she heard the store bell jingle. Jacob, what are you doing here? Did you walk here in the rain? You'll fall sick again. You should be resting. I need to know about the legend. The story goes back centuries, 50 years. Every 50 years, when the fog is thickest and the night's longest, the Lantern Bride returns. Why every 50 years? It's said the curse cycles like the moon. She searches for her husband to replace the one who left her. Never came back from the war. What happens to the men? They follow her, drawn by the red lantern she carries. It's beautiful, hypnotic. And the spring, the sulfur waters, they're her trap. The men disappear beneath the surface, swallowed whole. No bodies are ever found. And the next morning, a red lantern floats alone on the water, a mark, a warning. And the crow? White crows are sacred here, descendants of mountain guardians. They protect the town and its people from spirits like her. The night passed by as they spoke. Jacob stood on the wooden porch, the morning mist rising. He looked at Sayuri, who was quietly packing incense boxes behind the counter. I won't push the resort project here, not after what I've seen, what you've told me. Kusatsu's peace isn't something you can build over. It has to be preserved. Thank you for warning me, for saving me.
Click on the subscribe button and check out more awesome videos on our channel. And don't forget to press the bell icon because you know it's interesting.